Field Trips features real field stories told by real ASCE members.
Hi, I'm Zelenko, and this is my field trip. I'm very fortunate. I've had a great career so far, working on a lot of major projects like the Big Dig up in Boston, worked for Washington Metro here in Washington, D.C., and for the D.C. Water Clean Rivers program, the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. But I think of all of the projects I've worked on and site visits I've made, there are two highlights from my graduate school program at UC Berkeley that I wanted to share with you all today. And the first of these was our engineering geology class, led by Nick Sitar, who's still teaching. So, hey, Nick. And he took over this class from Dick Goodman. And we were heading down south from UC Berkeley down to Santa Barbara to visit a dam, the Hunkal Dam. We had to wait until the fire season had ended and the first rains had occurred because this was back in the hills. And we drove down to Santa Barbara and up through Montecito, beautiful hillsides looking out over the Pacific Ocean, up and over into the dry mountains behind there, behind the coastal range. And we had this dam where we were going to do field mapping of the rocks at this dam location. And what we didn't know for sure until we got there was, but Nick shared this with us, that he introduced us to the rock formations and showed us where the active fault was, that goes right through the concrete arch of this dam. And then he said, and guess what, folks, we're going to be sleeping downstream of that dam tonight, so you all get a good night's sleep. So that was that field trip. It was a lot of fun. No one got much sleep that night, but we had a great time mapping the fault the next morning. And thanks to Nick for leading that class. The other field trip that I wanted to mention was a tunnel project, and this was led by the great professor that we had, Tor Brekke. And Uncle Tor, as we lovingly called him, led us on a tour to one of his power plant dam projects in the Sierra Nevadas. And he had worked as a consultant on many of these power plant and tunnel projects in the Sierras. He had worked on projects like Balsam Meadows, and I believe the name of the project we were going to was at Shaver Lake. It was a long time ago. It was 38 years ago, so I don't remember everything, but I do recall driving our ways up into the mountains there, and we all got to this camp, and we took a tour of this power plant that had been hollowed out within the granite of the Sierra Nevadas. No rock bolts, no support. It was just beautiful rock and amazing to see. And as a student, to have that experience, to walk through the tunnels and walk into this huge football field length cavern and see where that power plant was going to go was really pretty cool. And of course, that night, Uncle Tor, living up to his reputation, had brought a few cases of beer for everybody. So that was really another great field trip. There are other projects I had in my career where I was doing site visits for the State Department, looking at sites for new U.S. embassies, but unfortunately, those are the kinds of things I can't share on this call, but I wanted to share those two field trips with you from my UC Berkeley days, the Hunkal Dam and Shaver Lake. So thanks, I'm Brian Zelenko, and that's my field trip.
Field Trips is a production of ASCE and the Geo-Institute.